First of all, I'd say marry the right person. And I'm serious about that. It will make more difference in your life. It'll change your aspirations, all kinds of things. So it is enormously important who you marry. Beyond that, I would say that do what you would do if you were in my position, where the money means nothing to you. Try to find your passion. You may not find it the first time, but don't sleepwalk through life. Find something that you really enjoy doing if you can do it. I urge you to work in jobs you love. I mean, I think you're out of your mind if you keep taking jobs that you don't like because you think it'll look good on your resume. I said, if you take another job you don't like just for, I said, isn't that a little like saving up sex for your old age? You know, I mean, the greatest asset to own is your own abilities. I mean, that no matter what happens in the economy or with currency, if you develop your own talents, I tell the college students that the best thing to have is develop your own talents. About learning from your mistakes, the best thing to do is learn from other guys' mistakes. I mean, it's like, Patton used to say, it's an honor to die for your country. Make sure the other guy gets the honor, so our approach is really to try and learn vicarious. Still spend 5 or 6 hours a day reading. I mean, you can learn so much. I particularly love biography. Just, to be able to live the lives of these people that have been see them so extraordinary, the lessons and the discouragements they face, just everything about it. So you can't get enough of reading it. Pete Keelan in Omaha used to say that he looked for 3 things in hiring people. Looked for integrity, intelligence, and energy. And he said if the person didn't have the first 2, that the latter 2 would kill him. Because if they don't have integrity, you want them dumb and lazy. You don't want them smart and energetic. We are looking for people that have a passion that extends beyond their paycheck every week or every month for their business. Important thing, even in your work, I mean, is to an extreme extent, it seems to me, is who you do it with. I mean, you can have... If you're going to spend 8 hours a day working, the most important thing isn't how much money you make. It's how you feel during those 8 hours in terms of the people you're interacting with and how interesting what you're doing is and all of that. Well, I consider myself incredibly lucky in that respect. I can't think of anything I'd rather do, and I can't think of any group of people I'd rather do it with. And if you asked me to trade away a very significant percentage of my net worth, either for some extra years or being able to do during those years what I want to do, I'd do it in a second. Like to make more money. We love making money, but we don't have a shred more reputation than we need, and we won't trade reputation for money.
Lose money for the firm and I will be understanding. Lose a shred of reputation for the firm and I will be ruthless.
Just apply the newspaper test. I tell our managers, I could have a 1,000-page book of ethics. I could have all kinds of rules and hundreds of, but in the end, just all you got to do is think about, do you really want what you're doing put on the front page of the paper tomorrow to be read by your parents, by your spouse, by your kids, by your neighbors, by your coworkers? And if you're embarrassed about it, just forget about it.
Any money you save before you get out and start having a family is probably worth, any dollar is probably worth $10 later on, simply because you can save it.
When you buy a stock, you get yourself in the mental frame of mind that you're buying a business. And if you don't look at a quote on it for 5 years, that's fine. You don't get a quote on your farm every day or every week or every month. You don't get it on your apartment house if you own one. If you own a McDonald's franchise, you don't get a quote every day. You want to look at your stocks as businesses and think about their performance as businesses. Think about what you pay for them as you would think about buying a business, and let the rest of the world go its own way. You don't want to get into a stupid game just because it's available. When you get to be my age,
you will be successful if the people that you would hope to have love you do love you. I mean, if Charlie and I know a few people that have got a lot of money and they get testimonial dinners and they get their names on buildings, and the truth is nobody loves them. And, not their family, not the people who named the buildings after them. It's sad, and it's unfortunately it's something you can't buy. I mean, Charlie and I have talked a lot of times, if we could just buy $1 million worth of love, it would be so much more satisfactory than to try and be lovable.
I sit here as somebody who, in the last 30 years, 1/4 of all the calories I've consumed come from Coca-Cola. And that is not an exaggeration. I am 1/4 Coca-Cola. I'm not sure which quarter. I think there's a lot to be said about being happy with what you're doing. If I'd been eating broccoli and Brussels sprouts and all that all my life, I don't think I'd live as long. Every meal I would approach thinking, it's like going to jail or something.
Se ne abbiamo portato